get everything going because we don't have that much time.
Not about the course.
Okay, so, all right, so perfect. We are live. Let me go ahead and send this out to all the groups. 1 second. Let me send this out in the chat. All right, so that's sent there. And then let me go ahead and send it here. All right, perfect. So first and foremost, welcome everybody. And also, I just need to know real quick before we get into this vision board party, how many people made money on GJ or EJ last week? Because the drop was so beautiful, okay? So write in the chat, like if you just made money, please let me know because them two trades played out absolutely perfectly. Okay, so I am gonna go over them at the end of the call. I missed it. Okay, so the people that missed it, definitely stay on all the way to the end of the call just because I am gonna go over the entries on that and possible entries you could have taken, as well as going over major and minor structure and being able to differentiate the two so you know how to really like take advantage of those moves and really be able to see like various entries inside of structure, okay? I know some people are already in the buy for it, so congratulations if you saw your buy entry on that also. Again, I'm gonna get to the charts a little towards the end of the call just because since we're doing the vision board party, I opened up to a lot of people. I made it kind of like a, I don't know, an open call just because, you know, I have a lot of people on social media that are not involved in the foreign exchange market. So in regards to visions and our goals and stuff, it surpasses Forex and it is truly our identity and who we are and what we want as human beings and what we are seeking in this world. So with that being said, welcome again. Okay, I do want to know where you're from. So please, like write where you're from. Let me know where you're from. I know last week I found out I had somebody in, dang, I forgot the name of the country. It was somewhere in South America, but okay. All right. Kenya, Trinidad, they going to South Carolina. It was somewhere in Dubai.
Ecuador.
Suriname. It was Suriname, I think, Jim.
Suriname. Yeah, and I was like, I ain't never heard of that. What is that? That's so crazy. But I appreciate you wherever you're from. Again, welcome. So let's get into this vision board party. First and foremost, I want to introduce somebody that's very special to me. Okay. You guys know that I am a mentor to almost 8,000 people across the world, but everybody starts somewhere, okay? And just like I am you guys' mentor, I have mentors as well. And one of my mentors, her name is Nicole. You probably seen me post her a lot on social media throughout the years. I don't know how long people have been following me, but she has just been a blessing to my life literally since I was like 20 years old. Y'all know when I told y'all I was like rough in these streets in DC, Miss Nicole is from DC, and she's just an amazing woman. Miss Nicole, you here? Can you hear me?
I am here.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. So everybody meeting Miss Nicole. Again, she's such an amazing woman and a blessing in my life. She literally works for one of the largest industries there is. She works with the federal government. She literally has government contracts. She is a boss of all bosses. Okay. I don't even know like how this woman does what she does. A lot of y'all look at me and be like, oh my God, Jessica, like, how do you do all this? I look at Miss Nicole sometimes like, oh my God, how do you do all of this? So I wanted her to just come on here and just shed some light to you guys because vision boards are extremely important, right? Setting our intentions are extremely important. Being able to understand where we're going, what we want in this world, and being able to navigate and go to it is also very important. And Miss Nicole is the very first person that ever made me do a vision board. So with that being said, I wanted her to come on here and one, just talk to you guys and also like explain what a vision board is and how to go about them. So you can go ahead, Ms. Nicole.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. There's so many people from all over the world. Thank you, Miss Jessica, my mentee, who I love so much. She's awesome, isn't she? Just list in the chat how awesome Jessica is. She's so awesome, and I've had the opportunity to just watch her grow and continue to grow, and she's doing great things, and she's just getting started, just like you all are. So you are very lucky to have Jessica as your mentor. But before I kind of kick off the vision board, I just want to talk about the importance of mentors, as Jessica is your mentor from afar, and technology makes her closer to you. For me, growing up, we didn't have as much technology, so mentors, you know, picking and choosing them were a little harder. And less learning without the technology. So you all are truly, truly blessed. But mentors, you can have them for every aspect of your life, personally, professionally, a shoulder to cry on, a shoulder to lean on, strictly business. So I would advise you, if you don't have mentors, make sure that's a part of your vision board this year in 2022. So let's get started. Welcome to 2022. I'm only going to speak for a few minutes because this is Jessica's show, and she asked me to come on and just start, as I was the first person that probably said, you don't have a vision board, and just right in my office several years ago, we began to just map out her vision board. I am a visionary, and most vision boards, people like to connect the dots with pictures and things like that, but for me, I like to write that vision out, right? And I take 3 words that I want you to just write down. And these are my 3 words for my staff for the year. Even before you start your vision board or doing the recap, let's go through those words. So the first one is transparency, right? Transparency, am I speaking or communicating effectively? So that's effective communication. After that, it's accountability and responsibility. Accountability is accepting the assignment. Have I accepted it? Do I understand where I'm navigating with it? And then responsibility is taking responsibility to complete that assignment. Have I checked the box? And so I'm going to get on some of you who didn't check the box last week. So whenever Jessica tells you, have you made money? Or are you trying to make money? Make sure you're checking the box on everything that she's teaching you each week so you can get farther to that goal. So you got to stretch. And remember, in the stretching, don't stress in the stretch. It's made for you to stretch and not stress. So let's start with a recap of 2021. If you have not done this, it's a great idea to do this. Jessica, you ready? You're on mute.
Sorry, yes, I am. I'm pulling it up right now.
So while she's pulling it up, hopefully you can take those notes. I actually listed this. If you follow me at CEO Nicole on Instagram, and it's Nicole with the E, CEO NECOLE. I have 2 just quick fact sheets that I mapped out. So you there? So your 2021 review recap, right? 2 things you should do quickly. Always give yourself a pat on the back, and that's listing your wins. These are your blessings. You want to list your win and also list out what you learned from that win. And for me, it's so important to keep notes of your vision board every year. Don't release them. Put them away somewhere so that you can look back over the years and you'll be really happy and excited about what you've learned from your successes and failures. So part 1 of the recap, list your wins. Those are your successes. They are your blessings. List the win and what you learned from that win. Part 2, list your losses, or your failures. Some people call it losses, some people call it failures, but what's the lesson behind that? Because your losses and failures give you lessons, right? What did I learn? In my business of 15 years, I've probably had more failures that I've learned from than my wins. And the good thing about failures is once I failed one time, the goal is not to become consistent in that particular failure, right? I learned it once. I learned, what did I learn from it? I assess it, and then I move forward so that I never go back to it again. So that's your recap. Everybody got it? Take a picture of it.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to slide 2. This is your vision board prep.
Hold on, I need to mute somebody out because I don't know who that is. All right. Mute them. Okay, great. And pull this up.
This I actually learned from one of my favorite leaders from afar. And he's spiritual, but he is one successful and awesome businessman, and that's TD Jakes. Right, so every year I've done this, and over the last several years, just from watching TD Jakes and hearing him speak on this at a leadership conference. It talks about your needs and your feeds, right? If your needs outweigh your feeds, you are drowning or about to drown, and you have to switch that immediately. So this is a great prep before you start your vision board, right? You don't want to take on too many tasks, and then you want to release the things that are holding you down and drowning you. So let's start with your needs. And you just take a sheet of paper, have your needs on to the left and your feeds to the right. Who or in your needs, who or what is requiring your attention and wasting your time holding you down? That could be people, things, or tasks that are getting you nowhere but are weighing on you heavily and restraining you from staying afloat or swimming. So identify that list, chart it out, and then to your right, it's your feeds. Whose attention do you need to help your growth or the next step? Who helps you? In this case, on this call, your first person, your number one person is going to be Jessica, right? She feeds your brain. She feeds you to that next level of where you want to go. Who else helps you? And you compare the two. Again, if those needs outweigh those feeds, you got to start chucking away at those needs. You got to delete them. You got to let them go. Right? So that your feeds outweigh your needs. You do not want to drown. So let's go into 2022 swimming, right? I always say there's a big sea out there, right? And a lot of fish and shark, right? Sharks, you have to be able to swim with the sharks. You don't have to be the shark. And the shark can't eat all the fish in the sea. The sea's too big and there's too many fish. There's more fish than there are sharks. Always remember that. But you got to be able to swim with the sharks, right? So that you don't drown. Everybody got it? And so let's go to next, the vision board itself. I'm just going to give you a couple of tidbits on the vision board because I'm going to allow Jessica to give you her spill on the vision board. And as you develop your vision board and you grow each year, your vision board should get better and better and become more clear and more clear. So while I show Jessica my vision board and how I actually do it, and I break it up into two groups, over the years, she's developed hers and what works for her. So for me, I break my vision board up into two areas. That's personal and professional. Everybody should know on this call that if you are not happy personally, you cannot be happy professionally, right? So you got to feed the personal first. What is it on your vision board that you want to personally attain? And I like to break that down in groups, right? And so for me, some of that personal is the first thing is yourself, right? What do I want to do for myself as it relates to self-care and mentally to keep my mental straight? right? What do I want to do spiritually? What's a good read for me? Or who do I want to follow? Who feeds me, right? What's my one personal financial goal? And keep this, because people get this mixed up. You should have 2 financial goals every year on your vision board, right? The first is your personal. What do I personally want to attain from a financial perspective, right? Is that paying my personal bills in a timely manner, paying something off in a timely manner, saving so much money personally? And then on the professional side, if you're an entrepreneur and you have business or the trading, as you're talking here, how much do I professionally want to do from a financial perspective? And you keep those separate. Also on the personal side, is there a family goal? What's that one family goal? How much time I want to spend with my family? Or something that I want to do differently with my family. I may want to teach them trading, right? Then the other on the professional side is you have a, who are my leaders that feed me, that I want to learn from? Jessica being one. Who's another one? What's a great book that I want to read, or a podcast that I want to watch that's going to actually feed me and get me to that next level? And then the rest is going to be filling in the gaps for your professional tasks. What do I want to attain professionally? Is it launch a business? Is it to make X amount with the trading? Is it to be the next exec at my job or where I am? Is it to leave your job and to start something professionally? And for me, pictures are good, but if you go back to those 3 words, am I transparent? Am I communicating effectively with this vision board? And am I being specific? Am I accepting my assignment? And 3, am I taking responsibility? And Jessica will talk about breaking those down into quarters. You'll have quarterly goals on your vision board. So the goal is not to keep it general, but it's to be very specific achievable goals in the stretch, not the stress. So very important. And I'm going to end with, make sure that you're looking for a mentor to help you get through. Remember, knock out those needs, strike them off, and fill up those fees. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody enjoy your vision board party.
Thank
It's
you.
always exciting.
Thank you.
And I'll be excited to check in with Jessica each quarter to see how you do, and especially at the end of the year. Remember, the sky's the limit. I'm going to end with this. QNWWNQ. Does anybody know what that is? Quitters never win and winners never quit.
Yay.
Quitters never win and winners never quit.
Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome. You guys have a blast.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Wait, hold on. Before she leaves, really quickly. So a lot of y'all that's been following me for the longest, I always post like a book, and No Excuses is one, okay? But another one is a spiritual book that I have been reading for the last few years. I think Miss Nicole gave me this book when I was like 22 years old, okay? And she started me on this pattern to where like literally some of my students, I just order it from Amazon Prime and send it to them if they like in that space in their life where they need it. Somebody
just put it in the chat.
Already. Yes, who wrote that? Who just wrote that? Who is Lazy? It says iPhone. Yeah. Oh, Gabby?
No, I didn't type it. I said it.
Who just typed it? It says iPhone, so I don't know. Okay, well, yeah, it's Draw the Circle, okay? A couple people already wrote it, so yes, it's Draw the Circle. It is literally right here. All right, this book is 40 days, all right? Now, again, I always say this. I know I have different cultures on here. Like, if you're a Muslim, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to your culture or whatever the case may be. But what I will say is that this book is like such a beautiful book, and I just will recommend it to anybody who is a faith-based, walk by God type of person. It's just a great book that's just like, it's just it. Okay. It's it.
And I'll end with two things. So that'll be a book to put on your vision board as well. That book is just telling you how things in life are cyclical, right? I always call it the two S's. There's the sun and then there's the storm. And any given season, as we, every year take a lap around the sun, it's either sunny or stormy, right? And so we can't determine in our season when it's going to be sunny and when it's going to be stormy. But that book, Draw the Circle, no matter what religion, and as Jessica said, no disrespect to any religion, that book is awesome. And it's a leadership book. And when I tell you, it'll have you drawing the circle and just looking at life differently. It actually spared my life. My mentor gave me that book several eons ago, and I've given that book away. I have them 2 books stacked in my office. That book, Draw the Circle, I've given over 500 copies of that book away since 2015 when I actually read that book. So, and then Jessica didn't mention, I'll give her a pass for tonight because she's training, but I also just wrote a book called CEO. Confident stands for Confident, Empowered, on Top of My Game. And it's not being confident, empowered, on top of my game. It's how do I get there to become confident, empowered, on top of my game. If you follow me on Instagram, you can click the link tree and buy the book. But I'll end with telling you some of my chapters. I talk about the vision board. I talk about Jessica in there, who actually wrote a training platform for me on the health and wellness side. So I appreciate her for that, because mentors can learn from their mentees as well. But to end, some of my chapters talk about get your head in the game, the mentorship the mentorship mantle, the reputation factor, cash and carry, a fraction of fortitude, being the CEO of your own happiness. So please go buy the book, CEO, Confident, Empowered, on Top of Your Game, and then also check out Draw the Circle, both of which are on Amazon. And remember, quitters never win and winners never quit. I know that they're all winners on this phone tonight.
Oh my God. So listen, thank you so much, Miss Nicole. I love you so much. You already know. Miss Nicole, y'all know if I'm inspired by somebody, then she is definitely like everything, okay, plus more. She has, again, like I said, just been a wonderful influence to me. I don't know how many years at this point, definitely since like 21. So going strong for the last 7 years. And y'all know them early 20s up until like the point where you figure out life is such a vital portion of your life. So she's definitely been a very influential person. So I 100% appreciate you. Thank you so much for talking to them. They're really like your grandkids. Like you're like, you have like 8,000 grandkids across the world.
Yes.
That's that funny. Okay, but
anyway. Somebody wrote in the chat, if they follow me at CEO Nicole, CEO NECOLE, they can click.
I'll write it in
link.
here.
Yep. Somebody just asked. You all have an awesome vision party.
Also, if you guys watched our recording on YouTube, on both of the screenshots, they are both like at the bottom of the screenshot of the like photos that I just showed with all the listings. Okay. But it is CEO Nicole. It's underscore, right? I'm trying to
No, just CEO NECOLE.
Okay, got it. All right. So I just typed it in the chat, you guys. So go. Somebody said, "Hi, grandma." I'll go follow her. All right. Well, thank you so much. You can stay around, or you can hop off. I know you're super busy.
I'm going to hop off. Yes, I will.
Right,
you all have an awesome vision party, and all the best of success to each and every one of you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys. So next up, so now she's just so amazing. Like I literally love her so much. But look, you guys, so now going forward, all right. So I hope you guys were able to gain a lot from that. And it's just a lot of information that, you know, we always have to reflect, right? Reflection is very, very important. We always have to understand like where we were so that we can really know where we're going. But for this next portion of the call, all right. My sister actually does this, okay? And I thought it was a good way to start off this vision board party in addition to everything that Miss Nicole had. So, did everybody write down everything from those lists that I had on the screen? Yes.
Yes.
I took a picture.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Picture. Okay, perfect. Great. If not, again, it's going to be on YouTube, so you could just catch the recording. But the next thing, okay, and I'm going to actually play a recording because I want you guys to actually do this while we are on the call. All right. Let me share this. Can you guys see this? I want you guys in a notebook to do two things. And I know like for this vision board party, it's a little bit different. Like, you know, most vision boards, let me just say this really quickly, because I know a couple of people in different countries messaged me and said, hey, what's a vision board party? So let me just say briefly what it is. So the whole goal of a vision board party is to really just visualize what you see for yourself, right? In a sense of manifesting it and allowing it to become your present day reality. And like I said, Miss Nicole is the first person that ever taught me how to do a vision board, and I've been doing them consistently every year. Last year, I literally hit every single goal that I set at the beginning of 2021. I definitely hit and surpassed it by the end of 2021 going into 2022, which is 100% a blessing. And I want you guys to do the same. But I want us to actually put this stuff into application opposed to just like taking pictures and like writing it down and filling it in later. I want us to put it into practice now. So this is going to be, it's not going to be too long of a call, but we will definitely go over our 9:30 mark. It'll probably just be an extra 30 minutes. But what I want you guys to do right now is we're going to start here. All right. You are going to write 10 things that God has already done for you. That's the first one. All right. And of course, it could be way more than 10, but you know, some people will literally always have an excuse as to why they can't do something. So I put 10 on here. If you have a hard time figuring out 10 things that God did for you, then listen, you got a problem right there. But that's the first thing you're going to do. And then the next part of what you're going to do is write 10 things that you want God to do this year. All right. So the first one, write 10 things that God has already done for you. And the second one, I want you to write 10 things that you want God to do this year. I'm going to play something while that's going. And again, I'm just going to probably give you guys like, I would say a good little 3 to 5 minutes. It shouldn't take too long for you guys to write this. I'm going to play this while you guys are writing that.
Jessica, I got a quick question.
What's the question?
What I'm trying to find a broker regulated where I can withdraw money from my trading account to a
So
Bitcoin wallet without having to put it in a bank.
Hey friend, I'm not gonna answer any trading questions right now. I will answer the trading questions at the end of this call, but like I really just want to focus on this for now. Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Imagination allows you to do this. And what it's called is imagination. But it started with a vision. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things.
Hey, you guys. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you guys, but I just wrote something else in the middle of the screen, so I'm about to share it again. But I also want you guys to write this on a sheet of paper as well, and then we're gonna go to the next thing, okay?
Things that do not at present and may not ever exist. Fear is a choice. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. I want your dream to be so clear that when you wake up in the morning, all you gotta do is step in your dream. And the first step for me was seeing something I was not before I was. You can do it. Where you are is temporary. You will not be there for the rest of your life. I don't care what happens in your life. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care where you are. Every single day you wake up, if you're gonna have energy, if you're gonna have passion, if you're gonna have drive, every day you wake up, you gotta start with that vision. This is a mentality, like you gotta live this, you gotta eat this, you got every single thing you do is not a cute thing. It is a way of life. It's got to possess everything you do. It's got to own. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can accomplish. I want to see what I can do, what I can be, what I can have. I want to see. I don't want to see what I think I can do. I don't want to see what I think is possible. I want to see what my life looks like if I didn't count the cost and if I was willing to go further than anybody else was willing to do.
One problem, the violin. Because to do what you do, you've got to be a world-class violinist. Because if you don't, when you're moving around and being thrown around and still trying to play, you end up doing what you did, and that's missing loads of notes. And there were times when it sounded to me like a bunch of rats being strangled. Seriously, that bad. But you're not good enough, I don't think, to get away with flying through the air and trying to play the violin at the same time.
I don't think what you're doing right now is enough to fill a theater in Vegas.
That much movement made you not as great as you were, made you not as great as you were.
Anytime there's a change to be made, you have to realize that there's somewhere else you want to be. And I wanted basically to be happy.
You can't do anything without faith. It's impossible to accomplish anything without faith. So I need you to believe there is still time.
All right, so I'm gonna pause that. Did everybody get this stuff written down right here? Is everybody done with these three things?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, great. So let's talk about them.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's talk about it really quick before we move on to the actual vision board part. But the reason that these three things were specifically important for me is because, you know, nobody's perfect, number one. All right. And also, we can never really get to like a new space healthily without addressing our shit first and where we are. And in order for us to even get to a new place, we have to understand where we are in our present situations for anything to change, right? So the brain dump part was extremely important because it's real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not perfect. We all go through stuff. Miss Nicole, like, she's, like I mentioned before, she's mentoring me for the last 7 years. The Jessica y'all see right now is not the same Jessica that y'all saw when I was 21 and 22 years old at all. I was literally trying to figure out life. I was depressed at times, sad, super sad at times. Like, you know,
Properly, please.
okay, let me mute people. I was super sad at times, you know, but I really want all of you guys to understand, like, that's life, and all of the anxieties and pressures and stresses that you may feel, like, write it down. All right, write it down. Whatever it is that you're feeling right now, whatever it is that is not going your way, whatever frustrations you have, whether it be your kids, like whether it be certain situations that you want to happen, whether it's something with your job, whether it is financial pressures, whether it's family pressures, friends, whatever the case may be, write it all down. All right, that's first and foremost. Okay, because we have to address those things. Now, in that space of everything that you wrote down, now the next part of that is I want you guys to identify inside of this, what can you control and what can you not control? All right, so example, let's say you have certain familial issues, and let's say, like, I'm gonna use children, okay, for instance. Now, I don't have kids, but one thing that I do know for a fact is, like, when I was growing up, certain things my parents couldn't control that I was doing or would have done regardless, but it would stress them out. So if you're a parent and you have kids and your children may be doing things that, you know what I'm saying, you may not like, or certain things in your life you don't approve of, or whatever the case may be, like, those things, write down. Any situations, let's say you are in life situations when it comes to monetary things where these things, like, let's say it's something that you can't control in regards to, like, okay, you may not be able to control the debt that you have right now, but we can figure out a plan to, like, eliminate some of that debt, or whatever the case may be. Like, if it's a two-way street where it's like, I can't really control the situation that I'm in, but I can control how I'm going to get out of that situation, write those down also. Okay. And it could be anything. Like, I just gave little examples, but it could be anything in your life. Some people, you cannot control where you come from. You cannot control who you are. You cannot control who your parents are. You cannot control anything in your life that has made you in the situations that you are in, but we control how we get out of those situations. All right. And the reason that this part was super important is because, again, I know everybody isn't Christian, but we got to understand what we got to give to God, and we have to understand the things that we can work on ourselves and for ourselves, right? Some people pray that God will get them out of certain situations, but they lay in the bed every day and not put forth no movement or effort or anything to really get them to a better place. That's not going to work, right? But then you have situations that you really, like, cannot control. You can't control the weather. You can't control what your kids do. You can't control anything external outside of you, right? Those are the things that we have to give to God and trust God for, because a lot of people that stress, when we stress about certain things, really, you know, it's so crazy, because I had a conversation with my dad about this. As you guys know, last year, like, my dad had faced, like, some health challenges or whatever. And when we go through certain things, health is something that it's like one of those two-way streets too, depending on it. Cancer, stuff like that, we can't control, right? But certain things like diabetes, cholesterol issues, we pray for our family to get in better health positions. Like, God, like, don't let my parents struggle through this, or whatever the case may be. But our eating choices are what manifest certain health problems, right? So we got to understand what those things are and what they're not. And you always have to understand, like, what is it that I'm giving to God? Because if I'm worrying about it, that means that I don't have faith. All right. So identify those things next. All right. Now, getting to the vision board, okay? And when it comes to vision boards, like, of course, they typically are beautiful pictures, which I still want you guys to do later on. I still want you guys to actually like get the magazines or print pictures off the internet and actually paste it on a board of your choice. But for right now, what I want you guys to do is really identify what it is that you want. Okay, because a lot of people, they will go through a magazine and they just be like, oh, this looks nice to have, and then they take it out and then they post it, right? But it ain't really what you wanted. It's just something that you saw while you were looking through. Does that make sense? So we need to identify inside of each and every one of us, what is it that we want in this present moment? Okay, now, with that, I already told you guys in regards to the goals that, and hopefully you guys have been writing them every day or whatever the case may be for the past, I think we're on week 3 now. So in regards to the actual goals, remember when we did the goals and we had the 4 goals that you want to do short term, and then we had the long term 5-year goal. So for the vision board, I want you to write out all of your Q1 goals, okay? Your first quarter goals that you want to accomplish. And then I want you to have a list of the goals that you want to accomplish for the year. Does that make sense? It's 2 different things. All right. Because let's say it's a health goal, right? And you can put them in categories, even like Mr. Cole said, like mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, right? Whatever category you want to put it in, it's up to you. But what are these goals? So let's say somebody says, you know, before this end of the year, I want to fit in whatever size pants that they want to fit in, or they want to lose a certain amount of weight. That means by the end of, or going into March, so Q1, March, we need to be at this weight, or we need to have at least accomplished this, or we need to work out at least 3 times a week, or we need to cut out a certain thing from our diet. That's a health one. Let's say you say, you know, by the end of the year, I want to own a house. Okay, so what do I need to put in progress right now for me to accomplish that? You see what I'm saying? So what are those Q1 goals that we need to be like tackling right now in this present moment? All right, I'm gonna play the rest of my video. It's only 3 minutes left while y'all doing that. Okay.
As long as there's breath in your nostrils, as long as you can wake up in the morning.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it.
So I need you to believe.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to someone, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do.
You got to do what you was called to do. You got to do what you were born to do. You got to do what works for you, because if you do what works for you, you're going to blow up. It's in your DNA. It's who you are.
Then you get knocked down, you get back up, you get back up, you get back up, and you continue to throw shit against the wall.
going to get somewhere else, you're going to have to change something.
How do you respond when you find yourself dealing with situations that are very painful? In fact, you get rejected, somebody walks out on you. You feel like they were dishonest with you, they didn't tell you the truth. You feel lonely, you feel hurt, very discouraged. When you think about all the things that happen to people and the reactions we have, how do you feel? You just want to say, you know what? I don't have to put up with this anymore. And you just decide, I'm gonna walk away. I quit. I give up. I don't have to do this. I don't have to stay here. How do you really and truly feel?
Discouragement is so bold that it will even hide behind a smile and tell you life is not worth living. If you listen at discouragement, it will cause you to make bad decisions. It will cause you to think that life is not worth living. And secretly, behind the facade of a smile and a good morning and a praise the Lord and a how are you, you will wonder if you're ever going to get out of what you're into.
And if you're in the process right now, giving up on your marriage, giving up on your job, giving up on your children, giving up on your financial situation, whatever the situation may be, before you give up, you stop and ask yourself the question, does this fit who I am? And this message is all about, listen, it's all about keeping on, keeping on. And that is to have the courage to keep on keeping on. And if you will listen carefully and apply these points that I'm going to lay out before you, you don't have to give up and quit. There is an answer and a solution to what God wants to do in your life at this point, no matter what it is.
It happens to everybody. Here's the other thing is you look at your goals and look at your dreams. When you're going through some stuff, when things go wrong, don't go with them. When things go wrong, don't go with them. When you're working on a business deal, you're counting on some money. Someone said you will get the loan and it falls through. You have an event and the people that you thought would be there and support you, they don't come through. Or someone turns again.
All right, y'all finished? Yes. All right, great. Wonderful. So guess what? The name of that video, okay, is this video that I used to watch every single day when I was training for the Olympics in 2015 when I was depressed, okay? And it just so happened to be called A Vision. Here it is on YouTube. Because a couple of people asked, like, what's the name of that video? It's literally called A Vision. All right. So, yeah, you can Google it or whatever the case may be. But I hope you guys have a lot written down. And again, like, I'm sorry that it took a lot of tonight's call. However, I do think that it's very important that we put this stuff into practice, because what a lot of people do is like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna write that down. And then they never get to it, right? And we have to be very, very intentional about where we're going if we're gonna get there. Because a lot of times, like, you know, we live life and we are so used to being who we are, and we're so used to being in our daily habits and our daily routines that disrupting that is problematic. And for us, in order to stick to it, it's going to be problematic at the beginning. Like, that's why a lot of people fail at New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, because it's not in them, right? It's just something that they're doing. And, you know, the best way I can like do analogies is really with fitness, because I spent so much of my life in fitness. Like when I was training for the Olympics, I was a personal trainer, just, you know what I'm saying, making money on the side doing that. But it's so applicable to real life in so many ways, because, you know, a person can say, hey, I want to lose weight, right? And they go on this fad diet and they just cut a whole bunch of stuff out of their diet and they lose a whole bunch of weight really, really quickly because they probably did a caloric deficit, which basically means they ate way under the nutritional, like the nutrition calories that they need to eat every day. So their body didn't have enough nutrients, and then they have a relapse, and then they just start eating everything, right? Because they didn't make it really a lifestyle. It was just, oh, I need to do this really quickly, right? And I need to accomplish this. So whether it's familial, relational, meaning you need relationships that you need to work on in your household, whether it be your husband, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your children, your cousins, your siblings, whatever it is that you may need, right? Don't let it be a band-aid. Financial goals, don't put a band-aid on it. Don't do this quick thing that's about to, give you a lick, a hustle, right? Hustles don't last. Hustles are, I'm about to literally get money real quick. And I take these quick, easy ways of trying to just, let me get money real quick. Let me get money real quick. Let me get money real quick, opposed to sitting down and really like, no, learn, trust the process, endure the process. You might not make money right now in the learning stage. One of my things, even with my students, y'all know they can't trade for 3 months because it makes no sense to be trying to trade while you're going through the course, make money here, lose money here, make money here, lose money here, where you can just literally not trade at all. Go through the process, go through the journey, and then graduate and be consistently profitable, right? When you losing weight, it don't make sense to cut everything out your diet and then freak out and then have this relapse and then eat a whole bunch of stuff and blow up way bigger, because now not only do you have to, like, your body's out of whack. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Spiritual goals, like, make them realistic. Like, even if it's saying like, I'm gonna just talk to God 2 minutes a day, 1 minute a day. It don't have to be long. This ain't no judgment. Start where you are with literally what you have, wherever you are with whatever you have. Mental goals, like, and when it comes to mental goals, like, I'm not really a Zen person. Like, some people do yoga to get their mind right, or like they'll, I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't believe in like crystals and all of that stuff that people do, but whatever it is that you do it for your place of peace. Okay. And commit to it, because we have to make sure we are whole in order to let anything else process or function, even in the foreign exchange market and y'all trading, right? Like, you can't trade properly when your mind is messed up or when you got a lot of stuff going on. You can learn the skill set all day long, but if you don't have the right mindset to apply it, then what good is the skill? Does that make sense? This is about being whole. It surpasses money. It surpasses everything. It surpasses it. Once you're whole, I promise you, everything else comes into fruition. Once you are whole, and once you, y'all know I be having so much on my mind that I be trying to get out. So sometimes I just really be like, it's just so much, like, it's like I'm a feeler. Like, I feel what I'm trying to say. And sometimes I can't really articulate because it be so deep. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta really understand, like, how can I serve the world if I'm broken? Because you're doing a disservice to everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? And so many people try to help other people before they help themselves. You can't give nobody advice without making sure you whole first. Which is why even when I was like back when people used to try to get me do IML and all that stuff, I'm like, how the hell I'm gonna recruit somebody if I don't know what I'm doing? That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Fill your cup. When I disappeared from literally life to learn how to trade, I disappeared from everybody. I got some friends even to this day that's like, yo, you don't talk to me anymore. You don't do this. I'm not the same person that I was. I can't be. And I can't even operate in the same space to get the results that I need because so many people are just stuck on other stuff. And it's like, yo, in order for things to change in your life, you got to change what you're doing. And then it's so crazy that it becomes such a habit that you just become so productive and so just like on it. You know what I'm saying? And then that is your everyday life. All right. Okay, y'all ready to get to this money now? Let's get to the money. Okay. All right, so that concludes the vision board party. We write out at 9:30. All right, but let's get to this money because y'all know we gotta get to the bag. All right, so y'all know that GJ last week. Let me share my screen. Boom, boom. Hold on, let me exit out of these real quick. All right. Here we are. So this is our GJ from last week. All right. So this is where we were last week. Remember last week we were right up in here. And then I had drew this fib right here. I said, hey, look to see if it's going to pull to this negative 27 or a little bit past to touch this trend line. So it actually touched a negative 27 perfectly, then completely fell on Monday. All right. It pushed down to this trend line. It actually broke the trend line, then came back up. There's a minor structure, little trend line that you can draw on the inside of this. Right. So when it comes to trend lines, and this is a question that I feel like I have gotten so many times, like, how do you know which trend line to draw? And I always tell people, draw every trend line that you see. All right. Because technically a trend line is what? 2 points and you draw it into the future. Always. Right? So you have 2 points, draw it in the future. So right here, I have like this whole channel formation. So that's why this black line's here. But you see how even right here where it got broken, right here, do you guys see this? That doesn't mean that that trend line is invalid. It just means for this actual structure, that structure broke. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if I draw a trend line in the midst of this, let's just draw a trend line coming from this low right here. All right. Just look how it lines up. And again, now you don't want just a whole bunch of crazy trend lines. So you have to really understand the structure that you're in to see, okay, what's predominant, what am I really looking at here? But the first trend line, I have this black, I have here, here, here. Okay, you see price broke. When it retested here to this negative 27, it just like respected this whole area right here. It did push up to this negative 27. But again, you have to learn fib rules to really understand like the ins and outs of that. But in regards to this, this new trend line that I just drew, we have here. Now, even though this broke under here, right? I'm gonna circle these so you guys can follow along. So we have 0.1, 0.2, right? We see this broke, all right? But I'm not just gonna X that trend line out. But in this trend line that happened before it, we have this small trend line. I mean, this small break right here, this break. And then when price retested, it retested this trend line. Does everybody see that? Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we have those broken and retested. And then this last trend line where we have 0.1, 0.2, I always draw my trend lines at the bottom of the wicks, always. Even if a trend line gets broken, I will always have a bottom of a wick trend line. And then I just might have a minor structure trend line that happens before that overall major structure. Okay, because there's always a smaller move that you can take advantage of inside of the overall move. So this would be that minor structure break that happened here. And again, like I have rules for all my fibs. All my Fibonacci levels mean something. So I'm not really going to say what they mean on this call, but this lets you know how long it's going to take for price to get where it needs to go. If you understand these levels and where you are. So you always know, okay, at these certain levels, I'm not going to have anxiety because I understand, okay, what's happening. So even when price did point A to point B right here, and it pulled back to this 78.6, when it pushed down to this trend line, and then I saw like price like starting to reject a little bit, I'm like, okay, this is about to go higher. All I did was just secure those profits right, at that point, and then all it did was retest this next trend line. Do you see that? Price came, retested this next trend line right here, and then here it broke, retested, and then we had the full drop that basically we talked about on Sunday, which was this bars pattern here. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I know some people caught the buy at this -27. -27 is always TP1, -61.8 is always your reversal. So in regards to this TP1, we have hit. So look for, I want to see this high break before I actually draw a fib on here. Right now it's sitting at the same level. But once this structure breaks, you guys, you can draw a minor structure fib inside of here. And yeah, again, look for this to push to -27, but I want to see, I don't even have a pullback on here either, right? Like I want to see an actual, I'm not going to keep this fib on here because I need an actual stopping point first. Does that make sense? But you want something like this to happen. So that impulse isn't finished. So we clearly can't draw a fib on something that's not done yet. However, once that impulse finishes, you want to look for something like, hold on, let me find. I try to make them as exact as possible, but I'm definitely looking for price. You see where we have, I'm gonna draw a little minor structure zone in here so you guys really see the level of support and resistance I'm talking about. This little area right here, like where we have all of this consolidation right here, this is where I foresee price pulling back to before the continuation of anything. All right, but I want to see, the only thing that has me like a little bit, not even hesitant, not hesitant, but just like, I wouldn't say enter this if you didn't catch it from this -27 right here for this buy, it's too late to enter it, because at this point, like wherever this stops, it's going to do like a little small little pullback to finish out here. And then that would just be an overall structure of this finishing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. We need like a I just don't like how strong this is impulsed right here to even find my bars, because it's like I don't know when it's gonna finish that impulse, but we'll say we'll just grab this and put that there. Let's put that there. I don't know when this is gonna pull back. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to see, like, it's just, we can't, like sometimes you have times in the market where you like, it's not that you don't know what's gonna happen, but you can't have structure on a structure that's not complete yet. You can know the overall structure, but if your minor structure has already started and it hasn't finished, you have to wait on that next move. So I always come back to something that my student said that was just so profound. His name's Omar. He always talks about like, you don't trade because the market's open. You trade because the market is ready for you. Right now, if you ain't catch this buy from down here, it ain't ready for you, because you don't want to get faked out and you don't want to unnecessarily lose money. Like this is a thing of like, the best traders protect their equity. So once this finishes, this pullback, I'm looking for this to pull back to here. If this like upholds, right? So let's say this is the level of resistance that's there. Let's draw that here. You see how that lines up with your TP perfectly? That TP1 or this -27 that's right here. Y'all see that? So you want to always look for your structure to line up and have multiple things that line up inside of that structure. Let's see something.
And Jess, I see what you're saying there. That's only if the person got in on that -27, the original, right?
Yeah, in regards to in regards to the buy that's already there.
Right. So
like,
However, you're saying that when it does show a spot where it starts to pull back, where we can actually set the fib, from that point, should we be waiting till it gets to that negative 27 for a possible reversal?
Yes, to continue down. But this is the thing also, like if you understand like minor structure, you can even hop in on this buy to the TP once that pullback happens. You see what I'm saying?
Copy that. I was thinking that too. All right, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely make sure you kind of understand minor structure and like y'all, like I really want everybody to get to the point where they can just read the market. Because when you read the market, you can really just see, okay, what's happening here. Because like, for instance, even this trade that I gave out last week, okay, it dropped immediately after the call, but you see how it pushed back up? A person that doesn't know how to read the market, let's say they weren't paying attention to their phone, let's say they didn't have no stop loss, no take profit set, nothing, and let's say they was at work and they was just in this trade and this completely went down and then all their profits are now lost, and they probably would have freaked out, right? And then it literally dropped and what happened or what was supposed to happen completely happened, right? Like nobody controls the market. You always want to react to it. So when I say you got to learn how to read the market to really be good at this, because we can all like understand where price is going, but to really perfect those entries, like y'all know those entries that I be posting on Instagram, where people are like, oh my God, like how do you always get those perfect entries? It's because like I literally only trade what I see that's crystal clear. And then I'll always only execute when I have all my confirmations. Does that make sense?
It
Hey,
does.
Jess, so once you have all those confirmations in place, I'm curious, at what point do you actually press the buy or sell button? Do you have like once you see an engulfing candle on a certain time frame, then you're like, all right, I'm in? I've always been curious about exactly when you enter.
No, not really. Like I don't really wait for the candle to close because but that really comes with experience in regards to understanding structure. Does that make sense? Like let's say I'm at a negative 61.8 and I see a super bearish candle or a super bullish candle, right? But I'm at that negative 61.8 and I also have divergence. And let's say I'm also on a trend line. And let's say I just have like everything telling me, okay, this is about to go up. I'm literally gonna place the buy inside of that bearish candle, especially if I had exhaustion on a previous bearish candle, because that exhaustion lets me know, okay, price is going up. But that bearish candle, most people would be freaked out on. I know that that's the candle that's going to wick to give me the reverse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So you basically, once it's all lined up, you just hop in and then you let it ride. So once it wicks that position, then you're like, all right, I know this is going to happen because everything's lined up. And usually what time frame is that for you? Is it like 15 or do you even do it at a 5 minute?
No, I do most of mine 5 and 15. But to get on the 5, you really, really, really have to be good at minor structure, because minor structure can always easily be broken. So like with my students, I teach them 15 and 30 just because it's more confirmation, right? Until experience is all the way there.
Got it. Thank you.
But like it's like one of them things, once you're always on a chart, you just really like start to see and it's just there. Like everything makes sense. Like the market is a story. It's always a story, and it's always a story that tells you what is happening and where the market is going. Does that make sense?
It does. I have a question. How many confluences are you looking at? Do you have like a certain number, at least 3, at least 4?
If I have my fibs, like fibs are my main confluence always, like always. Fibonacci is always my main confluence that I'm looking for, but I will always say I will really, 2 isn't a lot, but once you understand what you're looking at, you can have 2 to 3 to confirm. You know what I'm saying? I never just have 1. I always have a good 2 to 3, but one of those have to be fibs. to confirm. Like if it's 2, my fibs have to be something, unless the only other time is if I'm at like a supply and demand zone and I see heavy like super strong divergence or something, but I'm at a zone, and let's say it's like it's just some stuff that's just clear as day, right? And I can't explain how it's clear as day to me. I just try to be very transparent with y'all. Like Angelica, I always talk about how one of my students, Angelica, talked to me about something called and it's in a book. It's like this reminiscence of a stock operator. I told people to read this book a long time ago. It's more so about this guy and his journey, like with stocks and stuff, but he talks about something called a trader instinct. And one of my students, Angelica, told me one time, she was like, oh my God, it was just instinct. Like, I just knew where it was going. And I was like, yes, like it's a thing. Like you just know, but you know by experience, right? The more you spend with something, you know it and you learn it. And it's like, that's something that I can't really explain in regards to like, how do you know? It's like, you just know, but you know because you done did it so much that you just know. And it's like, that's your shit. Excuse my language, but that's your shit. Like, this is my shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Justice Liz. Justice Liz.
Hello.
Hold on, sir, please. Don't forget the Facebook group, Jess.
Okay, I got you. But Liz, I will. Well, Liz, do you want to contribute to that question? Because Liz is one of my students. She is just like this phenomenal trader. I love her so much. But do you want to contribute to that question? Like, when do you like when you know when you getting in your trades?
You just know. Your confluences, experience, definitely experience. You just really know. You're studying.
Yeah, but like how you know? Like that's such a hard question.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, maybe I can help you guys with this question.
Who is that?
It's Omar.
Omar!
What's up? Wagwan.
Turn off your invitations, Jess.
Let me see if I can help you guys understand. It's like if you have a kid, right? And your kid makes these faces at certain times. And when you first have a kid, you're paying attention to it. And eventually you understand what certain things mean with a certain kid, you know. If they do this, this means this. If it does this, you just do this. Like you just know, like you know your kid. We can even go as far as cars, you know, all the guys who love cars, even females who love cars. When you get in your car, you start your car up, you can immediately tell that something's wrong with your car because that's your car. You know your car, right? If you step on the brake and it just doesn't feel right, you're like, okay, something's wrong. And somebody might drive your car and think it's perfectly fine, but you know your car. Same thing goes with another analogy. It's like watching your favorite sports team. You know your sports team come out a certain way, and you're like, all right, I know my player. My player's not moving right today. Something's not right. You know your sports. It's all the same, even with trading. So once you watch something over a certain amount of times, or you just look at it and you perfect it, you just start noticing little things. And little things are adding up, and you can make an analysis in your head, and you just know, like, it's you just know. So you just have to. The way she's explaining is like, okay, take your time and understand your favorite activity you do a day. You know, you watch your favorite EP like Wendy Williams or Steve Harvey. You know, you can tell when he's having a bad day if you watch him consistently or her consistently because you just know this person. Same thing happened with your charts. You just eventually know them because you watched them so many times. Trading is really about 80% charts and 20% learning. You have to learn your charts. Learn your charts over and over and over again. Watch them. You have to get to know them. It's really like a relationship. Like you really got to take your time, understand them, get to know them, talk to them, let them talk back to you, and you'll get there. You'll get to the point where you just know. But it's not gonna come like you're gonna, oh, I know it off the bat. No. You can say, if you don't know anything about sports, you sit and watch football, you're going to be asking a lot of questions. But eventually your questions are going to start getting answers, and that question mark is going to come off, and you're going to put a period at the end because now you just know. All right?
Omar, for me too, I just got to say this, just I'm so sorry. I I compare it to spades. I'm a spades player.
See, there you
I
go.
know when them jokers, when I got them
Right.
big boys and the ace, I just know.
No, you know, right?
I just know.
You just know.
So it's basically training your eyes. Basically, that's what you
Yeah,
guys are saying.
That is
Yes.
exactly what
There
it
you go.
is.
Yeah.
Assignment number 2 is training your eyes. You know how many people hate that assignment? Like literally even with the automated course. And I did so with my automated course, I do like a Zoom call once a month, Monday. And just everybody who has taken the course, and I'm so happy that have graduated now, because literally all of them who, well, I have like a group that a few of them that text me on the side that actually are trading now. They're like, oh my God, like when I first started assignment number 2, I thought you were delusional. This one girl literally told me she thought I was delusional, and I was like, keep going, like it's a reason. Like assignment number 2 trains your eyes. You know what I'm saying? But yes, 100%. Thank you so much, Omar. That's Omar, you guys. If you don't know Omar, I always tell his story because it was just one that I feel like a lot of people just need to know of what's possible. Because I always say Omar, he started. He told me it was when I first started doing calls, and he told me for a year straight, yo, I'm gonna take your course. I'm gonna take your course. And he would always like just send me his markers. I'm gonna take your course. I'm gonna take your course. And you know, when somebody say that for like after 9 months, you just be like, all right, like, okay, yeah, I got it. You're gonna take my course. And then one day he took the course and he paid for the course. And I was like, all right, I'm happy you finally, like, what's up? By this point, I literally knew him by name, right? And he's like, yeah, man, like he saved up $10,000 from just hopping on Sunday night call and use that money to pay for the course. So I just always just use his story just because it's such a beautiful story. You know what I'm saying? And then when he graduated from the course, okay, he flipped $100 into 40,000 in 4 months. And it's just like super popping. So that's Omar. But Omar real low key, like he just, I mean, even though he speak on the call sometimes, he real low key.
Yes, I got a question.
I got a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering, can you point in the right direction? Because I'm trying to look for a broker that I can move money from a trading account and send it to a Bitcoin wallet or a cryptocurrency wallet without actually putting it into my bank account. Do you have any information on that? You can point me in the right direction.
Yeah, so I have to refrain from giving out broker information just for regulation purposes now, especially now that these calls are live. So I cannot, friend. However, you should definitely do your research in regards to brokers. Try to find an A-list broker. There are a lot of them out here, but again, for my life, I cannot give out no brokerage information anymore or tax information at all. Okay. I'm super sorry.
All right, cool. No, it's just 'cause I've been trying to search for someone. Everyone that I found that's been letting me do it isn't regulated, so that's all.
Yeah, it's a lot of Forex brokers that's not regulated just because Forex isn't really something that the United States government really, I don't know.
No, I'm from the UK.
Stocks. Oh, okay, got you. Well, yeah. There are a lot of I don't know. I can't speak on brokers. Sorry, friend.
Jess, I got a question about structure.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know if you're doing the homework right? I'm on assignment 2 for structure.
You got to go to the videos. It's gonna click. I promise you, it's gonna click. You just gotta keep doing it. So the videos, inside of the videos or after the videos, I have a homework example. You have 2 for assignment number 2, and they're in the Facebook group. So make sure you go to that. It is gonna feel like you're not doing it right when you first start. Just keep going, and you will eventually see it.
So should I take screenshots and send it in the Facebook group to ask the group about it?
No, you should just keep going fully, all 7 pairs.
Okay. Thank you.
do it
Jess.
all because yeah, hold on, y'all. Let me finish the charts real quick, please. 1 second, okay? Because y'all know, y'all be trying to sidetrack me, okay? What else did I want to go over? Okay, so what are my markups on GU? Dang, I ain't marked up GU in a long time. Okay, so anyway, I have GU continuing to drop down. All right. So my long term, well, actually, let me put this little minor on here.
We can't see.
This negative. Oh, you can't? That's really awkward. Hold on. Let's see. Sorry. All right. So, in regards to GU, this still has a lot of momentum here. I'm gonna put a minor structure fib right here. I want to see how far this is gonna pull back. I have everything basically, as long as this momentum is finished, I want to see this pull back to if this momentum is finished, look for this to pull back near this 61.8 range for this minor structure. All right. Y'all see that? I don't really like how this flag is though, but draw that's a little cute candle for this 1 hour. Once this 1 hour finishes, look and see if it's like a bullish candle or if it has wick exhaustion at the top right here. If it has wick exhaustion, then wait till you have like some identified structure on it. And then if you understand minor structure, all right, if it has wick exhaustion, look for this to push up and break out a little bit to retest this trend line. And then that's when you enter for this buy. All right, if you don't understand minor structure, stay away from this for now.
Jess, would that be a 15-minute fib or a 30-minute fib?
15. It'll be a 15. But
so Jess, you're saying if it comes back down and hits that trend line for minor structure, then that might be that might be a spot to okay. Yeah, I see. Okay.
And then that'll be the full break for this. Oops. That'll be the full for that overall fib structure. But I just want to make sure that this momentum is finished because well, yeah, it might be. Yeah, I could see this actually pulling back. I just want to see how these candles form right here. Wait for price to actually push away to retest, all right, for that minor structure, if you trade or understand minor structure. And then long term, I'm definitely sorry, friend, I just had to mute you. That was so much static. But yeah. All right.
Could you repeat that? We didn't hear what you said because it's static.
I said, if you understand minor structure, look for that to do the little small push away on the 15-minute, push away, and then come back. So what I mean by push away, it can't just be this next candle that touches right here. Price needs to actually push up a little bit and then drop to confirm. Okay, confirmation is always key in trading. To confirm that would be the retest, and then you would carry that to, of course, TP1 and TP2. I actually like how the TP2 is lined up with this level of, basically this would be like resistance. This previous, you see this previous support, it would be testing as resistance. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. but that is literally where that negative 61.8 finishes. But I just want to confirm that actual pullback once that breaks and retests. All right. You see how like trading is really easy if you just like it might not happen when you want it to happen, but you know it's gonna happen. So you just chill out. Like once you understand the market, I swear, like you know how much anxiety people have like when they first start trading? Hold on. I'm trying to find a bars pattern to match this. That wasn't a good one, but
Jessica.
Well, it might have been a good one. No, I need it to go up higher. Okay, well, y'all get the point, but I see it going higher. Let me go to the 15-minute and grab one. I have this at negative 27, but I see it going to this negative 61.8, especially because this support is here, but I need to find another one. But somebody just said, Jessica, what's up?
Yeah. So when you're trading, do you consider institutional trading like market manipulation and stuff like that?
I don't believe in that, to be honest. I don't believe that the market is manipulated. I think that life is manipulated. That's gonna sound that sounds so crazy. I don't think that anybody manipulates the market. I think that is very intentional. I think that especially when you understand fundamental analysis, you understand that what is really happening in the economy is that you have multiple economies literally fighting for power ultimately. So there are certain things that's going to drive the market in regards to currency strength, in regards to imports and exports, in regards to how well a country is performing. And if a country's no different than a company, right? If somebody has a company, let's say Miss Nicole, right? She has literally thousands of employees. I don't like when I say I don't know. Y'all see me as an entrepreneur. I am 100% an entrepreneur, but I'm an entrepreneur that do what I do by myself for myself, and I don't want to deal with nobody. Miss Nicole got thousands of employees, not hundreds. I'm talking about thousands on payroll. And I'm like, how do you manage all of these people? Like, I could never, but I don't even have that personality to manage people. Like, I love what I do because I ain't got to worry about nobody but myself. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying. Let's say Ms. Nicole running her business or anybody that runs a business, right? If something ain't performing right in the business, what you gonna do? You either gonna get rid of the person or you're gonna fix the problem or the situation. Think about it like that. So in the economy, if something not going right, they're gonna fix the problem, meaning either pump more money into the economy, they about to fix something to really affect something else. But I don't really look at it as like a manipulation thing. My students even know with news, like I don't believe in, oh, this news happened, so it made the market go crazy. No, when you understand structure, it literally just pushes the market exactly where it needs to go to finish out your move. You know what I'm saying? Like, because structure is structure. And that's why I always tell people, like some people, like when it comes to fundamentals and learning fundamentals are hard. Like I'm still even creating that fundamentals course because it's just so much. Like when it comes to fundamentals, it's like technicals, it's like easy by the book. 1, 2, 3. That's what you need to do. As long as you do it, then you will be successful in doing it, right? Now, with news, with fundamentals, it's so different because you have to understand how everything works. And in doing so, this is still not cute. I'll find another one, but I'll just keep the one I had on the first time. All right. With fundamentals, it's different because when it comes to fundamentals, it's so much news and you can't teach people how to read. Like it's so much to read.
Yeah, the news has been good, like on the Wall Street.
It's so much to read. it's just so much to read. And it's like, you always have to be abreast of it and understand it. Now, my first major in college was economics. So really, a lot of this stuff kind of came easy to me in regards to the comprehension, but understanding it is so much. But I really feel like, and that's what I'm gonna talk about in the actual fundamentals course. It's so much stuff that you can break it down in an easy way to comprehend it, but you still gotta understand the economy in order to comprehend it. Most people, they not gonna read all that to really understand it. I just think like a very, very good and proficient trader knows how to do both. But you can 100, like my best friend, I talk about him all the time. His name's Philip. And he is a 100% technical only trader, and his win ratio is in the 90s, 96, I think. I don't remember. Philip, you on this call?
Of course, bestie. I'm here.
Okay, well, what is it? 90 what? 90?
It's 95.
Okay, well, 95%. You know what I'm saying? And it's so beautiful that like I'm just surrounded by people like that, because y'all know people say, oh, like 96% of people that try Forex fail. No, not when you understand what you're doing. Like,
Hey, Jess.
Yes.
Can I say something real quick too? Because it's burning me up, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the newbies, because the question was asked about entries and like how you know when. For all of you all who don't have the Forex force just glowing within and you can instantly see when to enter a trade, a more systematic approach is if you listen to what Jess was saying about you understanding your confluences. So say if you got like 3 confluences that you look for, if you have maybe 2 out of the 3 confluences in that trade, you need to identify whatever your confluences are, and then you need to go back and back test it and see whenever those confluences happen, how did that trade play out from that moment? When you back test it and you see consistently when that happened, that's how you start getting confidence in it, which allows you to get the psychology to pull the trigger. Okay, so Jess talks about journaling your trades all the time, but that's one way for like some of the people who are inexperienced, because it comes through experience. But make sure you just identify what your confluences are, identify your process to jump in that trade, and then go and back test that process so you can see how often it worked, how successful it is. And then at that point, you will gain your confidence to just jump in and execute your trades. So I just had to say that it's been burning me up, because everybody is not at that point to just be like, look at it and see what you will get to. But if you're new and you're trying to figure out like what does that mean, that's a good place to start.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have a question about GJ whenever you're done with the rest of these.
Okay, what is it?
So for the sell that you got in, I see where it touched the negative 27 and it dropped down, and I am in your course, so I know where you would have, in this case for the major structure fib as well, I know where you would have wanted to take it. So in this case, it didn't go there. So I'm assuming you got out early to secure your profit because you didn't want to give that back to the market, right?
Right here?
Yep.
Absolutely. Once you see these right here, so you know how to talk about like bullish and bearish momentum? So you have one or two things. You have exhaustion or you have momentum. You see all of this right here? This means buyers are running out of the market. Hold on. I mean, this means, yeah. Hold on. This means sellers are running out right here. All of this exhaustion down here. And then you go to the 1 hour and you see 2 exhaustion candles at the bottom. I'm like, oh, this is about to go back up.
So in this case, you would have needed to be, just more than likely paying attention to the charges, checking in to see, like, if it's playing out the way you want it to.
Well, what you should always do. So if you go to the trend, hold on, I'm trying to remember what number it is. I don't know what number it is off the top of my head, but it's definitely in the putting it all together portion of the course, the USD JPY one that I go over that whole trade. You always want to look at support and resistance levels or trend lines. Like, let's say you don't get to a fib level. Like, if it's in between, you always want to look at either your fib structure in regards to TPs, okay? So in regards to entries, I'm always looking at my fibs, right? But in regards to exits, it's either going to be your fib structure or a trend line or a support and resistance area, always in regards to exits. Now, in regards to your exits, I always use my Fibonacci -27 and -61.8 as my overall exit. For major structure, it will always be one of those. But remember, inside of major structure, you can always have consolidation before the overall major structure move plays out. So inside of that consolidation, if I see a trend line, right, and price respect it the whole time, I'm not just going to assume that it's going to break now to go to that overall TP if it was consolidating in that structure for a long time. Or if I see a support and resistance area that's there, I know that price could potentially reject there because it rejected there previously. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on what actual type of trader you are or that you want to identify with. Because let's say Philip, right? Philip's my best friend and he is a swing trader. I am not a swing trader at all. Philip will be the type of person and he will have literally, let's say 5 or 6 entries here. And once this get down here, he'll probably pull half of them and they'll literally let the other ones just ride. Or they could have went all the way down and then he will literally go back negative, but he's always looking at the big picture. You see what I'm saying? So it really just kind of depends on the type of trader you resonate with, because once this got here and I saw all of that exhaustion and then this right here, if you look at, oops, hold on, I'll draw it on here. If you see right here, you see how this is resistance and then right here it tested as support.
Yeah, I was
right
looking
here
at
and then came right back right here. All it did was just uphold that little support resistance area.
Okay. So my last question is, so in this case, because I literally putting it all together is the next portion of the assignment that I'm going to be on, and my question is with the fibs. So in this case, since it did not continue to either -27 or -61.8, and it reversed, it went higher than our initial pullback. Would that be considered it breaking that structure? And in this case, would that new high be possibility for a new structure? I mean, a new fib level? Like that's the start of your new major structure?
No, because it didn't break that structure, because you always want to look at the structure that you're in. So the fib that I'm in, look at the major fib, okay? The major fib, this is the high for it. That's why that zero's there. And that's why the 100 is there and the zero's at the bottom. So if it does not break to go past that 100 right here, this is still my overall structure. You know how I say you can consolidate inside of your major structure?
Okay, yeah.
So if you already been to the fib levels, go look and see what your 78.6 and 88.6 mean. And then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, I remember.
Okay. So yes, so that's a no for that. And then also if you go look at, I think the 100 example on AUD-JPY in your course, then it's also the same thing that I'm talking about right here.
Okay.
And I got a question.
Yes.
Do you actually look at other pairs? Like
I only really look at
EURUSD or JPY?
I do, but I was just so strong on GBP, JPY, and Euro, JPY, and GBP. Now I've been talking too long, okay? I only was hell-bent on GJ and EJ for the last 2 weeks just because I've been waiting for them to literally drop. But yeah, so these are the trades that I typically always look at right here. So I look at US 30, gold, GJ, GU, EJ, EU. Yeah, these are pretty much it. USD CAD was the very first pair that I learned on, so I'm gonna always have like a love relationship with that pair, but it never has really anything to do with anything else that I'm trading, so I just look at it from time to time. But yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm kind of at that point. Well, I've been looking at EURUSD. Could you like take a look at it and like give me something, like let me know what it's doing or how it looks to you in comparison to what I think?
Sure. I haven't marked it up because I wasn't planning on even looking at it this week just because I didn't really I had other stuff to trade, I guess. But for EU, I mean, really the main move already happened. So this was a weekly level and then this was super divergent. So that's that. Let me see where we are though. All right, so if I put a major structure fib on here, this never reached the overall negative 61.8, but it did reject at this weekly level. So where we are, I mean, I have bullish momentum right here, but I have this, I mean, really it's the same as GJ and GJ and GU. I could see this pulling back. Again, all of these were like dropped so hard on Fridays. And y'all know, like, my rule on Fridays is when the market tanks severely on a Friday, wait and make sure all the momentum is finished before hopping in for that pullback for the continuation. But as far as this goes, I could see this pulling back, kind of similar to everything else. I could see this pulling back to here and then dropping to this negative 27. Y'all see how this negative 27 kind of lines up with all of this previous resistance in the past? Y'all see that?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Before
Yes.
before going higher. Okay. So just look for like a small pullback. Let me see. I can't even draw a fib on this because it's like I have consolidation right here. I don't really have an impulse. So it's kind of hard. Like I was saying on the GJ, like everything did a sharp push on Friday. So it's really no data for me to draw the minor structure that's going to happen over. But we know the overall move is going to here. But would I say hop in right now? No, because we know that this needs to pull back. But I need an impulse first. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hi, Jessica, I have a question for you, please, concerning structure on GJ.
Okay, what's the question?
Okay, so I'm on your online course, and I couldn't resist the temptation on Friday to enter the trade on the confluence that
you finished the course?
Uptrend. Nope, but I couldn't resist the temptation.
You ain't
so
disciplined.
The uptrend on the uptrend on the 4 hour had a divergence with the RSI. The uptrend did not see any pullback to the up to not even 23%, and I felt that was you know, a pressure that would be exerted on the shorter time frame. So when I saw a short-term pullback, I jumped in, shorted it, risking only 5% of my account and making 30% on my account. Now my question is, it has now retraced to the 4 hour has retraced at least the 23% that there has been some measure of retracement on the longer time frame. Does that change your thesis about that there should be a pullback, overall pullback? That you're still looking for a significant pullback on that pair?
Jessica, I got a question after the guy that just got in trouble with the teacher get done.
Okay. First off, for the first guy, okay, Charlie, you on this call? Charlie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey girl, hey.
I ain't been paying no attention though, so don't ask me no random.
Okay, real quick. So everybody meet Charlie. Charlie is a wonderful girl. Like, I love her. Okay. She lives in Atlanta. I haven't met her yet, but she just graduated from one of my groups. And Charlie was just amazing. But like before she graduated, of course, she decided that she wanted to, do a whole funded account, whatever. And she passed it literally in like days, I think, off of 2 trades, 3 trades. What was it? 2 trades? All right, so she passed it. She passed her funded talent account, or I mean, FTMO account off of 2 trades. And she thought I was gonna be like, oh my God, girl, good job, because great, you passed your account. But she had discipline. And what did I say, Charlie?
Sis, I mean, that's cool, but you ain't supposed to be trading right now.
Period. So friend, whoever, like, I know that you want me to be like, oh my God, great, you risk 5% to make 30%. Okay, that is great. But however, please understand discipline is everything. Like, it is. You know what I'm saying? How you do small things is how you do everything. So anybody that's trading, that's my student, that y'all ain't finished the course, don't tell me because I don't want to know. But to answer your question about if my thesis changed, my thesis has not changed. I take the market step by step. So the overall picture that I have will be once all of my minor structures complete for me to determine the next move. So like, I never enter anything without confirmations. Like I mentioned before, I literally approach the market. When I move, you move, just like that. When it move and give me that signal, I'm like, okay, pow, let's go. But I never am hell bent on any bias at all. Like, I trade what I see, not what I think. So yeah, so for now, what I have right now is this pulling up to this level. And then once it gets there, then I'll determine the next move from there. Okay.
Hey, Jessica, I have a question.
Hey.
Hey, first of all, I want to say you so dope. That's legit. And I just got your beginner course. I'm finishing that up now, and let me tell you, them taxes can't hit quick enough for me to buy your more advanced course. I'm like super excited. Can't wait on that. With me being in the beginner course, do I still get to join your Facebook group or not yet?
No, only the because the beginner's course is so basic that it's just it ain't really nothing that you need help on. It's just information. Like the full course is where you get yeah, that's the Facebook group. And speaking of the group, but thank you so much. Is it Marquise or Marquise?
Yeah, it's Marquise. I had a second question too, if you don't mind. I think it would be so dope if like maybe like at the end of the year or something like that, you do some kind of like meetup somewhere, like maybe the Florida Keys or like maybe a cruise or something like that, like for all your students or whatever. I think that'd be like super dope because you growing at a great rate. So I think something like that would be dope.
Yeah, I actually was going to I wanted to get this villa and spend my birthday with my students last year, but COVID and it was just a whole bunch of stuff going on. But I haven't even revisited it in my mind, but I would definitely do something like that. But thank you so much. You're so sweet. But last but not least, real quick, y'all. So Liz, you still on here?
I sure am. Hi, mommy.
All right, perfect. So Marquise just segmented this perfectly because Liz needs to talk to y'all about the Facebook group. So Liz is one of my graduated students, but
hi.
He and Faith and Mike are admins in the Facebook group. They all are graduated students of mine that are helping people along the way. But Liz is Mama Bear, and Mama Bear got some stuff she want to say.
Hi guys. I just want to commend Jess on her work. She's phenomenal. And I just want to give you guys a little notation. Whoever is trying to get in the Facebook group, I really need you guys to follow these instructions because I do want you guys in the group, and I do want you guys to get all the information that you guys need. what you have to do is go into your course, and in the upper left corner, there's a members directory next to the dashboard. Anytime that you're requesting to gain access to the group, you must fill this out. This is my way of validating people whether they really purchased the course or not, because we, some people that I had to eliminate. But just fill out your full name with your Facebook name. Don't worry about the bio or anything else. Just fill your name out, then scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see a segment that says opt in to share with members. And this is for you guys as well, because if anyone ever comes into your DM and say, hey, could you help me? I'm stuck. Homework number 2, 3, whatever. You can validate them just by looking into the members directory and making sure that they're family. If they're family, then you can help them. If they're not, move along. But opt in and click on that opt in and just click save. Once you save it, I'll see you in the system, and then I'll approve you. That way you gain access to the course. To the group. And everybody's pretty much friendly in there. Everybody pretty much is on point. I just got to add this. The automated course is just as great as one-on-one or group, because Jess is not there. Her time, she gives you limited some time with her because it's automated. But trust and believe that is just as good. These people that are graduating, they are phenomenal. They're killing it. We normally practice on 7 pairs, and I'm not going to give too much information. We chart up and mark up for, Fridays, market open Sundays. And I'm telling you, these people is hitting 6 out of 7, 7 out of 7. The less 5 is the least I've ever heard, but it don't matter. There's, it's going in the direction that they, said marked it up to go in. And some of these people were not filled with confidence at the beginning. They were fearful, and fear is only faulty evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's fake. It's your faith is stronger than that. What you believe inside of you is stronger than that. Jesus in you is stronger than that. So you'll walk through the course. It might get a little tough, but we're there. It's over 200 people in there to help you. We're sisters and brothers. We got your hands. Excuse me, because sometimes when I speak, I get a little street. But anyways, we're holding each other's hands. We're there to help each other. I can't answer all the homework. I got my life. I got my children, and I trade too. And this is not my job. This is myself, Faith, and Mike helping our beautiful, lovely sensei, Jessica. So we'll help each other. So it's not that if you guys DM me and saying, hey, Liz, can you please help me with homework number 2? It's a lot of people coming to my DMs. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't sit there and check everybody's homework. That's a lot of homework to check on homework number 2. But I try to do as much as I can. And I'll be in the kitchen, in the Facebook kitchen, answering a lot of questions and do what I can to help you guys. But you have to study, stay tunnel vision, and trust the process. But I'm telling you right now, this course, the automated course, is on point, because these students they bad. They just as fly. They just as dope as the elite. So.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, thanks so much for that. And I'm gonna I have a couple of course overview videos. I want to wait for the actual profit testimonials before I release them though. So everybody knows, even with my private and group students, like most people send me a course overview video was just their experience throughout the course. And then I have like a profit testimonial, which is okay after they become successful, but of course that's like a couple months after graduation, because that's the process. You're not gonna be profitable the day you graduate, because now you have to go apply what you learned in the market. So it typically takes about, I would say, a month. Most of my private students make their money back from the course within a month of graduating. So the automated students, literally, I don't know, it's been 13 weeks. The course is 11 to 12 weeks. So I think they just graduated maybe about 2 weeks ago. So we look forward to seeing the profit testimonials soon. But like Liz said, a lot of them have just been posting their results in regards to markups and stuff like that. So that's great. And then after that, it's just the application of actually pushing the button and popping the trade. Okay. But
Excuse me, Jessica.
we've been on this call for 2 hours.
Oh,
So
can I ask a quick question?
last question of
Real quick, it's about the site. I was trying to purchase a course, and it just keep on declining. And I call my Amex, and they're saying that they're not receiving they're not receiving nothing from the site.
are you sure it's my course? I want to make sure. Oh, let me just say that, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, it's from your site. I went to the course from your site.
Okay, that's so weird. Okay, so I'll look into that. If you could send me an email really quickly.
Yeah, I DM you, but I'm gonna go to send another email to you.
Yeah, send an email because my DM, y'all know my DMs be over.
Yes.
Well,
So what's the email you want me to send it to?
I'm messaging it right now.
Hey Jess,
Okay.
can I say something?
Yes.
That happened to me as well on the 4 course. I had to contact my bank to get them to unflag the card I was using because it was a safe stop for the bank in terms of fraud. So because the purchase is a large amount, they put a hold on it, waiting for me to call them back to validate that that was actually me who was purchasing your course. So that might be his issue as well.
Okay. Okay, so I will go in and check it, and then I'll also talk to my manager about it also.
But it may not be on your end. It may be on his bank end. Because once I end up contacting my bank and advising that that was me making the purchase, then they cleared it for that purchase to go through.
Okay, thank you.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am. I have the same issue.
Okay, so can y'all do what
I don't know.
you said, and then I'm going to see with my manager also, but can y'all do what Anthony said and make sure it's not your bank, and then just email me if you still have trouble. And then you guys also, I have a lot of scammers out here, and so much to the point, like it's so much to the point where Liz, no, Saturday I was about to lose it. Okay. Lose it. Like so much to the point where I literally was like, bro, I don't even want to teach no more. Because it's just so irritating. It's like you give to people and then they try to steal from you. And it's just like,
Please don't give up on us, please.
It ain't even that. It's just like, yo, like, it's just the stuff is too valuable. Like, I would rather protect it and just go back to one-on-ones and just completely be like, F this automated thing. Because at least all my one-on-ones, like I have private relationships with it, and I know none of them would ever like leak my shit. And it's just like, it's like, you know how many friends I have that are Forex teachers that will never, like, I literally have a friend to this day that when I was teaching one time, he was like, why do you give people all of this? And it's like, I really feel like it's enough money for everybody to go around. But the fact that people like really try and get my shit out for free, it just makes me like, oh, hell no. F this, like, keep access to have it. But like, I literally.
So good that people
Hey, Jess.
do that. You're doing so good, you're gonna find a lot of scammers. I mean, unfortunately, I know it sucks, but that's
I'm too emotional. I'm too emotional. Like, in life, you have to know thyself. And I know myself to know that the reason I don't do this is so bad, but it's just the truth. Like, I don't have business partners or none of that because I'm such a genuine person and I do not feel as though I give more of people than people give to me. And it's just not worth
There's a Libra in you for sure.
It's definitely the Libra. And I'm so loyal that it's like when people cross me, it really, really hurts me and affects me. So
Hey,
like,
Jess.
yes.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I DM'd you on here the URL that I have for what I think is your more advanced course. Can you let me know if that's correct or not? It's from Marquise.
That's it. I
Okay,
see it.
perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Jess, will there be a call tomorrow?
What's today? No. It's only the first Monday for the automated course. It's only the first Monday of every month.
Okay, gotcha.
Jess, I got an email from you about the group. Did that start already?
No, it hasn't
Okay.
started. Did
Okay.
you get a text message from me?
I did not. I got an email.
Okay, resend me your email because I text a whole bunch of people this week. But resend, can you re-email me, and then
Okay.
I'll do it. And then for everybody else, I love you guys, and I gotta get out. We've been out here.
No, love you, Jess.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jess.
so much. Thank you.
I'll
send you that email. Thank you, Jess. Okay,
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
Love
you.
you. Thank you.
Jessica, this is your anointing. Don't